Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Eviction Podcast. So we have the first boot here today, which is unfortunately Connor in a close vote, 6-4-1. So Connor, tell me how you feel about that, man.
It sucks that I got out early, but I get why. You know,
Mhm.
I think I think that's all right that I got out early since I wasn't expecting to go to the next round anyways. But
Well, well, Connor, I do gotta say this, so we can all agree that you left a huge impact. You set the tone for the season, man. By leaving that close vote, you made sure the season was not gonna go down easy. So I want to thank you for that. You really left an impact, man. So I want to go into the next question. What made you target Bandit specifically, right at the time?
well, it's because when I was in when we were in one of the rooms, someone said that he had a YouTube channel where he does kind of like this stuff to do with it. I thought, hey, that's probably not a good thing. Let's get him out. Um, at this time, I had no idea what metagaming was. So that was some like heavy metagaming, and I feel like it was probably a good idea to get me out. The one thing that I probably should have known and wasn't and I didn't.
Do you regret it? Is my biggest question. Would you go back there and would you still target Bandit that first round, or like who else would you target it instead if you were able to do it over again, knowing what you know now?
If I was able to do it again, I'd probably, instead of said to get him out, I would probably have said to like watch out for him, since apparently he's done this thing. So that's kind of it. I mean, I feel like there isn't much I can do to maybe try. Maybe if maybe I should have gotten the maybe I should have won that immunity, because if I did, then I would have been the only one, which would have been really funny.
I do want to point out for the immunity, you were the only one to guess Turok, the only black game there. Which
Yeah.
what the hell kind of guess was that?
Okay.
I have to admit that was really funny. Were you
Again,
throwing it
no.
or?
Again, I have really bad memory. I have short-term memory loss. So, I wasn't sure which one was which. Uh, but while rewatching the first episode, I noticed that it was that game, and I was just like, oh my god. Yeah, my memory plays a lot into certain things that I do.
So, did you feel the edit accurately portrayed like how does it feel after seeing the edit? Like how you completely fell down, essentially your downfall. How did you feel about seeing the edit? Like what did you think about seeing your
Um,
slow downfall?
it kind of sucked, because again, it is my downfall. But then again, I feel like I can learn. I feel like I learned from it actually, so I know what to do and what not to do if I learn this information.
Mm-hmm.
Eh. Plus, when rewatching, I heard some things that I didn't hear before because I also have hearing problems.
That is completely fair, my dude. So let's say that you did actually succeed in taking out Bandit that round. What would be your path going forward? Would you continue targeting people who have played this like type of org stuff before, or would you just keep trying to go after the biggest threat? Or how would you have gone into this game if we saw essentially a Connor survival for round one? How would you try to play the rest of the game?
It would probably be I would go for whoever was like who I would deem as a threat, but also try and see who I can become allies. Like with me and Ant, we were gonna become like some pretty okay ally, but and then I got out, which is uh kind of sucked, but again, totally fair.
Alrighty, so let's talk about the votes on your elimination. So, did you expect everyone to essentially? Did you expect to actually go out round one? That is my question. Did you expect it? Like before
Um,
any of the votes are read, do you think that like, hey, maybe I went too hard on Bandit, or maybe they spread it around? Like, did you feel
I
that you were the target from the other side?
well, when I first did it, I didn't think that, but after rewatching it, I realized that I probably it was probably like a half and half kind of thing. Like I half expected to get out, but also like if I went to the next round, it would have been really funny.
I
So
think we can all.
I had the expectation of either getting out and it would be funny, or staying in it it'd be funny.
So
Especially
I think we
especially at the end
can
when I
all.
voted.
So I think we can all agree that if you survived that first round, I think you would have probably gone on. I would say a little bit further. Wait, actually, no, I don't want to spoil that. Cut that out. Cut it out. Cut it out of the video. I just spoiled. Cut it out. Okay, we're gonna restart that question. Okay, so essentially, right? Who were the people that you did trust in that vote? Essentially, and did anyone betray your trust on that vote? Like, did you think that someone like let's see, do you think someone like Pandino, who actually got the talk whiz for like 1 or 2 minutes, did you think he was gonna vote against you there?
I didn't really think anyone was gonna vote against me, but I definitely felt like I didn't think everyone would vote against Bandit either. So I was expecting I wasn't expecting it to be like completely half and half, other than the one vote on Terry. That one singular vote.
There was just a one random vote on Terry.
I know. What there wasn't there?
I think you'll go to see in the next.
Wasn't
What were you
there
gonna
a
say? Yes.
chance of being a full tie if no one voted for Terry and it was just me versus Bandit?
If it ended up being a tie, it would have been a revote.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do, and then after a revote, it would be so it would be rocks between everyone else. So Survivor rocks, right? Where it would basically be two of them get tied. That means you and Bandit would have been safe, and a random person when it went out.
Ah, okay. I haven't.
And if that happened, that would have been truly cool.
It would have made it more interesting if it went out like that.
Yes, it would have. Although, I think it's kind of shocking that you lost. Well, actually, no, not lost. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Cut that out. Cut that out of the video. Okay. But anyways, I do believe that in the episode edit, right, I'm actually kind of shocked you still got someone like a Terry's vote, right? Because Terry was still talking with the other groups, but he still felt very confident and comfortable with you after the conversation. So I do think that's something to note. So how did you feel about the people who did vote to keep you into the game? For example, the people who voted to keep you in was Ant, yourself, Terry, and Jace. Did you feel comfortable with all of them, and did you know that, like, I kind of had this guy's vote or something like that?
Yeah, I feel like out of all of them, they were the ones that like understood that I feel like they might have known that I didn't really know what it was, but also could have known what it was. That's what I think, at least. That would be I think it's cool that they didn't vote me out. It would have been a really imagine I had every single vote against me. At least I did. At least I wasn't like easily one-shotted. I feel like I feel like
No,
if
you are.
I feel like if I didn't say anything for Bandit, I probably would have gone. I probably would have actually gone really far, or at least further than first
Honestly,
round.
I would completely agree, actually, because Bandit's target was never you, essentially, that round. Bandit actually quite liked you, right? Or at least from my POV, Bandit hasn't talked to you that much. He had no problems with you, right? You were a loud figure in the beginning. You were talkative, right? And he was actually targeting Terry that first round. So would you say it would have been better for your long-term game to have not targeted Bandit and just kind of go with the flow, essentially, for the first round?
Yeah, I feel like if I mainly played it low key, since it was my first time doing it, I did what people who do this for the first time don't do. I straight up just went for someone, which was not the right idea because I got instantly decimated.
And I will say this, though, I do think it's an interesting parallel with all the org veterans, right? The org veterans voting for Bandit to stay, right? While all the new people voted Bandit to go, essentially, because the newest players, people who have never played Alive before, right, on the cast, were you, Ant, Terry, and Jace. So do you think that's like an interesting parallel right there, where it was kind of new versus veteran?
Yeah, I feel like the reason why is because for veteran players, not only do they like know what they're doing, but they also know how to keep the game interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's one of the reasons. That's one of the major reasons that they may have kept him in. Since I feel like that would have been kind of funny.
Alrighty. So whenever you got out, who were you rooting for to win the game?
I was rooting for two people, Ant and Bandit.
You were rooting for Bandit. So what made you root for Bandit on your exit? I'm curious now.
Well, let me tell you. So after I was voted out, I went to my brother's room, and then he explained he told me what metagame was, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened. So I just thought it would be really funny if because it was so close. That's why That's why I wanted him to win, because it was so close in the beginning, and if he won, it would prove my point. Like if he won, then he was a threat. You're lagging again. Jeez. Yeah,
No, it's okay. Don't worry about me. My Wi-Fi is trash. It's okay. We'll edit it all out of the video. Any of the trash Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I was just funny if he won, because then it would have not only proved my point, but it would also have shown that it might have been a good idea to vote him out.
So, alrighty. So now I have to ask you the big important question of the interview. Would you ever play again? This is not an invitation, but I am curious. Would you ever play Chaotic Reality again?
Yeah, 100%. Now that I at least know a little on how this would work, yeah, 100%. Especially.
And what would we see in a Conor 2.0?
Conor 2.0, yeah. Yeah, no, I think it would be funny because of some of my characteristics, Like I just round. I'm about to Mortal Kombat this, bro. Round 2, let's go.
So, what would we see in in a return? Like, what would you try to do differently?
Okay. Again, probably keep it low key. Not try and not trying to immediately go after anyone, but also I feel like I got one criticism from my friends is that I talked way too much. So I might maybe stay a little. I'm still gonna make jokes, because some of the jokes I make are genuinely funny, but I think for the most part I'm gonna stay quiet unless I really need to, or if I want to just randomly crack a joke when it's at the right time.
Alrighty, Conor. So thank you for the quick little interview. Sorry that we had to redo it. It was lovely having you on the season, and you were robbed, man. Like you played hard out the gate. You were a really fun character, and damn, it sucks that someone is energetic and as fun as you went early. So thank you so much, man. Any final words you have to say to the viewers viewing this video?
If you're gonna get into an orc, don't do what I did. Maybe keep it more low key. Don't just immediately go after someone. But also, if you do, it'd be funny. So make sure make sure if you're going after someone, you do it in a funny way.
Alrighty, so I just want to say this for the end of the video. If anyone has any more questions for Conor, please put them down below, and I will literally DM it to Conor, and you'll get a response from the Chaotic Reality account.
Yeah,
so, anyways, if you have any more questions for Conor, put it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching.